Welcome inside the Fish Fieldhouse on the campus of Boston College in Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts. I'm Luis Sanchez, joined alongside Ben Ulcher for this battle between two of the top teams in the ACC. And well, Ben, Virginia Tech off to a great start, and a big reason why is Kayla Downey.
Well, absolutely. The big question for Kayla Downey was, we saw her do it at Coastal Carolina. Could she do it on the big-time stage in the ACC? And so far through 5 games for the Hokies, the answer has been a resounding yes.
On the opposite side, Virginia transfer Rachel Clark has made an immediate impact for Boston College. Hasn't missed a beat this season.
Well, we've seen Clark do it for 2 years for UVA, now doing it here in Chestnut Hill. Hat trick for her in every game this year and really helped keep the Eagles afloat in that rematch of last year's national title game against Northwestern on Thursday. Well, it has been a dynamic duo for Boston College this year. Eagles always a high-powered scoring attack, but when you've got Rachel Clark, Kayla Martello, 2 top weapons, it's no wonder BC has one of the best attacking offenses, not just in the ACC, but in the country.
Well, Shea Dolce, 5-1 record, will get the start in the cage here for the Eagles. That save percentage, second in the ACC at .471. A big reason for this success early on in the year from the sophomore for Boston College. And on the other side, a former teammate this past summer in Jocelyn Torres with the U20 USA team. This past summer, Torres, 4-1 record this season, 9.41 goals against average, and she has been such a stud between the pipes for this Hokies team. Take a look at head coach Kristen Skyra, her 3rd season at the helm for the Hokies, 23 wins. She led Virginia Tech to their 2nd ever ACC tournament win last season. Spent a couple of years as an assistant coach at Army and at Duke under 2 incredibly well-known coaches on the opposite sides, Acacia Walker-Weinstein, and she has transformed this Boston College program. 6 national title appearances, including a national championship in 2021.
Yeah, and obviously the Eagles have their eye on getting back to the national championship game once again this season. Virginia Tech, though, going to present an interesting challenge. The Hokies is very much a team on the rise in the ACC, off to a good start this year. When you look at their schedule so far, they do have one other top 5 team that they played. That's their only loss. They got thumped hard by James Madison. So how do they approach this one? They've had the whole week off. You know, is the buildup maybe so big that they've worked themselves into a frenzy? I think these first few possessions are going to be really interesting to see the mentality on both sides.
Sarah Gresham, the sophomore, who's been great in the circle since she started her freshman campaign. Her and Olivia Vergano broke single-season draw control records, over 100 for both of them. The previous record was 98. So in the circle, Gresham battles there with Ryan Smith, and it's going to be possession here for Boston College.
Yeah, that might be an indication right there. You know, a little tie-up before the draw control even happens, and then the false start call right off the bat. You know, you wonder just if there are some nerves going on.
There's a quick shot right into the mitt of Torres. That one was fired from the outside from Cassidy Weeks, graduate student from Babylon, New York, trying to put Boston College ahead, but Torres had a good answer early on.
Yeah, Torres able to get a good look at it. Decent shot, though, opportunity there for Weeks. Was able to get in good position, get her hands free. And for Boston College, you know they have put emphasis on a strong start today after they had a pretty tough first quarter against Northwestern on Thursday.
Championship rematch from a year ago between Northwestern and Boston College. I mean, felt like the eyes of the lacrosse world were on that matchup on Thursday night.
Absolutely, and a lot of eyes going to be on this one today, too. You know, people trying to determine how legit the start is for Virginia Tech and how BC is going to be able to rebound. I mean, they were able to sort of work themselves back into that game in the 4th quarter, but the way it sort of played out, Northwestern always felt like they were in control once they built that 4-5 goal lead early on.
3 players with a hat trick for Northwestern in that victory against Boston College. And here's a chance in front, one-on-one, score! Paige Tyson, graduate student from Pennsylvania, puts Virginia Tech on top, 1-0.
Yeah, you see Dolce going off to the side here. I think there's going to be a little bit of a huddle on the BC defensive side, but Good defense to offense here. There you see the good look from Weeks, the save from Torres, and then on the other end, Paige Tyson just gets lost here. Now that defensive marking for Boston College, and all of a sudden Tyson ends up wide open in front of the crease, able to make a couple dekes to get Dolce off balance, and an easy finish there for the grad student.
8th goal of the season for Tyson, and Virginia Tech with a 1-0 lead here over first-ranked or number 1 ranked Boston College. It's a Virginia Tech team looking for its first 2-0 start in ACC play since 2018. Back to the circle, it's going to be Smith. She's matched up again against Gresham. This is going to be a big part of this matchup between Boston College and Virginia Tech, is that draw circle and who controls possession.
That time, I think the false start on Ryan Smith, and you can see Vergano not wasting any time, quickly getting the offensive possession established for the Hokies.
What Coach Scoura told us in the call this week is, in the draw circle, it's not just about winning the draw to yourself, but getting a good opportunity to get your teammates set up. And now Vergano tries to go to the top of the fan. She's cut off quickly. Nice cut back inside. Another opportunity. There's a shot. It ricochets back, and maybe some contact upstairs here on Kayla Downey, but Boston College going to go the other way in transition.
Yeah, no call. Downey's still, I think, down on the turf behind the play, and now officials are going to stop for the injury. You can hear the Virginia Tech bench screaming for the foul. Downey clearly shaken up. Made the nice move to get around the defender, got right to the front of the cage. And we'll see where the contact comes from. I think it's primarily from Shea Baker on the recovery there. Baker next to Dolce, top of the screen. I think catches Downey pretty much, right in the face with the tip of the cross. And I don't know, maybe just not spotted by the officials, or maybe ruled it sort of incidental, but it's a little bit of a break there defensively for BC, because you can make a good case that Downey should have ended up with a free position chance there.
Now here's Clark trying to level it up. She gets some contact upstairs, but shakes it off. Steps back to the left side. That one's dispossessed. A great defensive play from Molly Dunphy.
And nice work. Another key transfer piece for the Hokies coming over from Villanova. Another player who, Villanova's sort of an unheralded program a little bit. Was not, a top recruit necessarily coming out of high school, but just really worked her way as one of the top defenders for the Wildcats, and now getting an opportunity to really add to the depth on the defensive side for Virginia Tech.
It's a great job by Mackenzie Beam, another transfer from UAlbany to get it into the attacking area here for Virginia Tech, up 1-0 against Boston College. Paige Tyson with the opening goal to put the Hokies in front. Both teams a kind of patient approach here early on. Couple of cutters come around. Nothing open for Virginia Tech. They go to Vergano. Vergano trying to keep it on the left side, but just fires that one high and wide. Ella Rishko is there to keep possession for Virginia Tech. Now Downey looking for an opening, nothing there. Good defense here on the near side. Becky Browndorf, transfer for Boston College, came over from Florida, was all AAC second team selection. Gets a pick, now the pass, there's a bounce shot and a score! Claire Shada with a heck of a shot. 2-0 Virginia Tech.
Well, how many times did we see Northwestern go to this pick play on Thursday, and it was effective then, effective for Virginia Tech here today. Great little tandem offense there between Shada and Mia Posey, and it's the freshman Posey who just dishes it back over the top of the double team, and a really good catch and fire by the senior Shada. Second leading scorer for the Hokies on the board early here.
13th goal of the season in just 6 games for Shada.
As I said, start for these teams was going to be important. Virginia Tech in terms of trying to prove themselves, and they had Boston College on the ropes in the first half last year in Blacksburg, and again, this is a big opportunity for a statement game for them. Again, sprinting forward off the draw. Vergano wasn't waiting around for the official to make the call. Just says, give me the ball and let's get on offense.
Now another chance inside. Another quick shot here from Downey, but that one's going to go away.
A lot of movement here for Virginia Tech on the offensive end. They've got BC scrambling at points. Eagles got to find a way to sort of get sorted out on the defensive end.
Back up top, another quick passing scenario here for Virginia Tech. And again, being smart with the ball here in the offensive zone. Under 10 to play in the first quarter. Quick pass, back down low, spin shot just wide on Dolce. Blair Guy with a nice turnaround shot. Tech continues the pressure, back behind the net. Reset on the defensive play there from Bell Smith. Now a chance to cut it back across. Rishko trying to find the pass, but it's taken away. Now right back to Virginia Tech, and Rishko picks up the loose ball. Shot clock violation.
Yeah, possession never clearly established for Boston College there. Off the ground ball, so no chance to reset the shot clock. A better defensive stand that time for BC, although still some room. Some good looks in tight for Virginia Tech. And really for BC, they just need to put together a good offensive possession here. So far, just one shot early and a turnover.
Another ball that just escapes the stick. Boston College not able to pick it up, and that one's going to come out towards the blue line, but good effort to keep it in play. There's Molly Driscoll, product from Middleton, Massachusetts. 50 seconds on the possession clock here for Boston College.
Yeah, just an errant pass gets away, and then Driscoll had to go a long way all the way back into the midfield to chase it down just to even save the possession.
Now down to 35 on the clock. Boston College 5-1 this year, 1-0 in ACC play. Here's a wind-up shot, and it's going to just miss the cage. Eagles reset with 24. Credit this Virginia Tech defense. Nothing easy in front of Torres. Back outside, gets the contact. Another shot that's wide. Maybe got a piece of Jocelyn Torres there.
Yeah, they did reset it to 60, so either caught a piece of Torres or caught a piece of the post, maybe. Driscoll knew she had to get that one away quickly, though.
Eagles will go back to Clark here. Pass to the opposite side. Bell Smith trying to get the pick, spins away from a defender, runs into more traffic. You can just see the help side defense for Virginia Tech, not giving an inch. Turnaround shot, score! Kayla Martello finds the back of the net and cuts the deficit to 1 here for Boston College. Back and forth we go in Chestnut Hill. It's Virginia Tech leading Boston College 2-1, but the Eagles clawing back here on the Heights. Welcome back to Chestnut Hill, where Virginia Tech holds a 2-1 lead over number 1 Boston College. Take a look at the series meeting, 24th all-time meeting between Virginia Tech and Boston College, a series that dates back to the old Big East days. You know, despite Boston College having a 19-5 all-time record, these matchups lately have been pretty close.
Absolutely. You know, you just go back to last year, Virginia Tech leading at halftime, you know, had a 9-7 lead after scoring first in the third quarter, and then BC just sort of took it to another notch on the road. They went on a big second-half run, and Hokies just weren't quite able to hang around. But, you know, they've been in most of these games against Boston College and off to a very good start today. Again, I thought the start for both teams was going to be important for Virginia Tech, just sort of proving to themselves they could come out and play with one of the top teams in the ACC. And for Boston College, just interested to see how they were going to react off of Thursday's loss. You know, the first time you take any loss in a season, you know, you're always going to learn more about your team, especially because of how the way the first quarter played out against Northwestern. Eagles dug themselves that early hole, and they were going to put, you know, a lot more emphasis, you would think, on the start today. First couple offensive possessions, not good. Last time around, though, much better. More patient on the offensive end. Martello doing a good job recognizing that the slide was not coming. Took her chance in front.
Here's Clark going coast. And she goes all the way down and scores off the draw control.
Well, just as I said, Boston College patient on the last possession, but it's clear they want to play with some tempo, right? That's kind of what got them back into the game against Northwestern in the second half. So, you know, if they see something early in the possession, like Rachel Clark seeing that there's an opportunity to beat her defender one-on-one, she has license to do that. And obviously when you have a player of her caliber, you give her sort of free reign whenever she thinks she has a chance to beat a defender one-on-one and get a good scoring chance like that.
Sydney Golini, who draws usually the opponent's best offensive scorer, that time just got beat on that first step by Rachel Clark. Now up to 22 goals this season. She missed the first game for Boston College, but ever since has been in the lineup and has made such an impact offensively for this Eagles team. Haven't had a clean draw control. All three have been false starts. So we'll see if we get one here with 7:08 in the first quarter.
Well, it's pretty clear that both teams putting an emphasis on this area. You know, for Boston College, they've had sort of a rotating crew. Ryan Smith, for the most part, has been leading the way, but for Virginia Tech, it's that dynamic duo of Gresham and Vergano who have dominated with the draw. Vergano picking it up here.
Another possession for Virginia Tech, but quickly taken away by Belle Smith.
A nice recognition. Vergano did secure the ball, but was tight to the line. So BC able to get over and trap pretty quickly.
Connor Roman almost lost it there. Good active stick on the opposite side here for Virginia Tech, and Mia Posey, a freshman. Got a good start to her career for Virginia Tech. Molly Driscoll passes it off to Clark. Now Rachel Clark tries the sidestep, help side defense comes across. Now Belle Smith will rotate it back to the left side. Sets a pick for Martello, but Martello stumbles. That's a turnover from Kayla Martello, and now Virginia Tech trying to go the other way. Mia Posey. In transition, Virginia Tech goes for the skip pass across. Good reset for Vergano, and now the Hokies will set up behind the cage. Dolce will turn around, the ACC Freshman of the Year from Boston College a year ago. Tries to keep her position on the post. Now turn around from Downey. Nothing open. 5:40 remaining here in the first quarter. A 2-2 game. Good sidestep. Briscoe has a lane, spins across, fires a shot, saved by Dolce. Huge save, and now a chance for Clark to go in transition. Back down low for Davis. She'll spin away. Gives it back out to Clark. Quick one-time pass for Smith, and she scores! 3 unanswered goals for Boston College, and they take the lead 3-2 in Chestnut Hill.
Well, how about the defense to offense transition for BC? It all starts with the great save here from Shea Dolce, her first of the day. It's a really good one, too. Briscoe made an excellent move to get right in front. But Dolce able to come up with the split-legged stop here. It's a great spin move by Briscoe through 3 defenders, and then quickly back to Dolce. Quick outlet. BC on the push. Clark finds the trailer in Belle Smith, and she knows exactly what to do with that.
Again, unselfish play for Boston College. Now 3 different goal scorers for the Eagles in Martello, Clark, and now Belle Smith. 12th goal of the season. Shea Dolce, you said it. That was an impressive save to be drawn to the post and still have to go across your body to make some contact.
And after giving up the first 2, always important as a goalie, I think, to sort of get a couple of early saves just to try to establish that confidence, establish some rhythm. You know, for Dolce in a couple of these early games, she's not had to take a ton of shots, but was really tested against Northwestern. And again, I thought stepped up, especially in that second half, really had some big-time saves to kind of give Boston College some chances to really get back in that game. Eagles had a couple missed opportunities on offense to make that a 2 or a 1-goal game down the stretch, and Northwestern just played with a ton of confidence. Every time they needed to get an answer, they did. And now it's about how BC is able to rebound today, and so far a good response after Virginia Tech got the 2-0 lead.
3 unanswered from the Eagles. A good win in the circle as Gresham popped it up to herself and then drew the foul. The Virginia Tech team, the only D1 women's lacrosse program in the country with 2 players in the top 15 of total draw controls, with Gresham leading the way. Coming into this matchup, 9th nationally with 32. Big save for the Eagles on the defensive end, and now Boston College will try to add to their lead here for the first time today. Good speed through the middle. Ryan Smith. Now Boston College will find Rachel Clark up top. Clark waits for some support, gets it in McKenna Davis. Good speed, shot fake. Now pass back to the near side. Little hop step there, back down low, and it's off the stick of Shea Baker. And Jocelyn Torres was there to gobble that ball up.
I think it was Casey Hansen, just got a little deflection on that pass. Tight quarters on the passing there. And Davis can definitely sneak it in those passing lanes, but maybe just a little too tight that time to be able to hit Baker on the move.
3 caused turnovers for the Eagles, 2 for Virginia Tech, and the Hokies are staying close here in the first quarter. This is a very different Virginia Tech team than we've seen in years past. They have continued to rise under Kristen Skyra.
Well, you highlighted it, Lewis. The draw controls really is such a huge part of it, because you know, so many times as the underdog, it feels like you have to get so many defensive stops because you're being outpossessed. But now when you have that success with Gresham and with Vergano with the draws, now you're starting to outpossess teams. And you're starting to maybe go 50-50 with Notre Dame and BC and North Carolina. And so if you can give yourself, you know, at least close to 50-50 in terms of possessions, well, now it's just about, you know, can you be as efficient as those big-time teams on the offensive end? And if you feel like you give yourself a chance, you know, you're going to be in more of these games than you're not.
Downey will have control behind. You talked about it. Gresham with 111 draw wins last year, while Vergano 106. Both of them breaking the Virginia Tech single-season record. That pass comes right back, down low, quick pass up top, quick shot, a bouncer off the stick of Dolce.
I think that hit post.
Again, great positioning from the sophomore, makes that shot a lot more difficult, and Boston College in transition. They have the numbers. Back down low for Davis. Davis fakes. Oh, she lost it on the shot. Well, Pinto was there to keep possession for the Eagles.
Well, that's one McKenna Davis going to be shaking her head at. Wide open look on the doorstep, made the great high to low move. Had Torres drawn off the line, and just, as you said, it rolled out of her stick before she was able to tuck it in on the far post.
Davis, who increased her scoring by 57 points a year ago, tied for second most in a single season with 62 assists for Boston College. Now the Eagles struggling to keep possession here on the offensive side, and Virginia Tech causes another turnover off the shove.
Yeah, Bell Smith coming in there with a push, and nice slide and double there by Mackenzie Beam helped force the turnover. This one felt like BC had things in gear on offense, right? They reeled off 3 in a row, got that great transition goal from Smith, and last couple offensive possessions, though, have broken down. Virginia Tech stepping up on the defensive end, able to get a couple of caused turnovers, and now have the chance for the final shot of the quarter.
So the Hokies will hold on. 40 seconds on the game clock. Back outside for Vergano. She'll cut it across. Low shot, just wide on the net. Got some contact as well. Might have been Sydney Scales who got Vergano. And she's a little slow to get up. We'll pick up her mouthpiece. You know, these West Babylon kids, they're really tough.
So this is the second time now a Hokie offensive player has ended up having their goggles come off and down on the turf in front of the BC goal. And you could see got scraped across the top of the head that time. So this should be a card, and it is on Braundorf. First card for either team today, and Morgano's going to have a great opportunity from straight on here to even the score.
Morgano, a big part of Kristen Skyra's plans here at Virginia Tech. He was originally an Army recruit and came over with Skyra. He set it straight on here on Dolce. Woman up opportunity for the Hokies. Morgano waits the whistle. Fires a shot high, right into the stick. It was deflected, but taken from Colasante.
Yeah, how about Sydney Scales? Quick off the whistle and actually got a piece of that shot from behind so that it went just wide, and then a great job on the backup snag.
Another defensive play, but two Hokies run into each other. Boston College will get a chance now. 12.5.
Again, quick push up the field, right? We've seen that a number of times already from BC. And now a first free position look for the Eagles.
Still shorthanded, so this would be a big goal for Boston College and Belle Smith. Looks like Virginia Tech might get the ball back here. They're going to give it back to the Hokies.
Some discussion among the officials, maybe deciding to call an offensive charge. Not a card, it looks like, but maybe just a charge on Smith.
So now Virginia Tech with one opportunity with 12.5 seconds left to go upfield and try to tie this game. Very impressive first quarter for the Hokies here against number 1 Boston College. Quick pass is deflected. Ends up on the stick of Posey. Gets it across, saved by Dolce. And that's going to end it here in the first quarter. Well, Claire Shada got Virginia Tech ahead by 2 goals here in the first. And the Hokies were trying to hold on before Shea Dolce. Impressive save that led to Boston College going back down and taking the lead off the stick of Belle Smith. Welcome back to Chestnut Hill, where we've got a great battle between number 1 Boston College and Virginia Tech here on the Heights. And well, some new Eagles to the nest here for Boston College, and they have made quite the impact so far early on in the season for the Eagles.
Absolutely, Lewis, and as the old saying goes, great programs don't rebuild, they reload, and that's exactly what Acacia Walker-Weinstein was able to do in the offseason. Rachel Clark, we already mentioned her a couple times, already a multi-point day with a goal and an assist. On the other side, Becky Braundorf has been excellent, really helping shore up what was a pretty strong defensive core for Boston College last year, but you saw the way that national title game played out, and it just felt like BC needed something a little extra on the defensive end. So Braundorf coming over from Florida, she's already had a big game today with a ground ball and a caused turnover. Pinto still looking to get on the board, but again, bolsters the attack as well. So Acacia Walker-Weinstein getting a chance to really add to the depth on both ends of the field, and it's a big part of the reason why the Eagles are off to another great start.
Pinto made her name very well known with that highlight reel goal early on in the season for Boston College. The Eagles trying to find some offense here against a stingy Hokies defense that have not made anything easy for Boston College after the first quarter of play. Smith will be back in there on the circle. It's Sarah Gresham. That 1-1 back, and now possession back for Virginia Tech, and the 2 clean draws that we have seen have gone to Gresham and the Hokies.
Yeah, a lot of sort of jump balls off the draw control, and Gresham does have a little bit of a height advantage over Ryan Smith in that regard, so using that to her advantage. It feels like a lot of times you see taller players just tend to have a little bit more success with the draw controls, regardless of whether they turn into those jump ball scenarios.
Downey, a quick one-time pass and score! Paige Tyson, number 2 on the day.
Same play for the Hokies that they got their first goal on, and again, Boston College just loses their marking, and Paige Tyson ends up wide open in front of the cage. If you're Kristen Skyra, you're going to go to this set a lot more. There you see again, Tyson just uncontested, going right to the front of the net. Late recognition from Scales, doesn't get over in time. And it's just an easy feed from Downey in the back. Connecting to Tyson in front. You know, Dolce does get a good view of that pass. Sometimes you will see the goalies try to take away more of those passing lanes from behind the net. I don't know if Dolce is being instructed to let the defenders play that in front, or she certainly can't see Tyson coming to the net behind her, but certainly looks that if Dolce gets that stick up, she's able to take away that passing lane regardless of whether or not somebody's coming. So maybe something to keep an eye on here for BC if Dolce gets a little bit more active trying to take away those passing lanes. But Eagles got to find those markers coming to the front of the net.
Communication, such a big part of the game. We'll hear more about that from Boston College at halftime. Virginia Tech will take possession. Really impressed with Virginia Tech and the way they've been able to hold on to the ball. 3-3 game here in the second quarter. Vergano will get it started. We'll keep possession here on the near side. 65 points a year ago, sixth most in Virginia Tech history from Olivia Vergano. Some contact in front, looked like Hunter Roman sent a body to the floor. A chance to reset with Rishko. Rishko's had a great first half so far. Tries to spin away from Scales, and excuse me, it was Roman there on the defensive end.
Offensive foul there, Rishko getting in there with a forearm, trying to push off against Roman, who was returning just as much physically there. So, you know, tough call. You could argue that was really 50-50 between the two, but Roman gets the benefit of the whistle, and Eagles get a chance to go back in front.
Roman, who caused fifth most turnovers last year. Clark fires another score. Well, what a start for Rachel Clark, and Boston College regains the lead.
Yeah, again, she's just so integral to what BC wants to do. And, you know, this is sort of what I like to call no-nonsense offense. Just get it to your best player, clear out, and let her go one-on-one with a defender. It works in basketball. It works in lacrosse. You see Clark gets it, you know, all the way out near the restraining line and just has a ton of space to work with there. They say, look, we like your matchup. Go win it. And they, again, just gets that initial step on Golini. The help is too late to come, and Clark's so accurate with her shot.
We told you, Golini is the one that is usually guarding the opponent's best offensive player at 5'4". She can hold her own ground. That time, Clark, who has a really good first step, gets by for a second time today.
It is, and you know, it's no knock on Golini. I mean, there's just not a lot of players who, you know, can defend some of the best offensive players in the nation one-on-one. And you can see a lot of times the Hokies are trying to slide over and help. That time, though, because BC has the field spread so wide, the help is late to get there, and Clark is able to get her space for the shot before the help comes.
Herod didn't even look like she made a play on that draw, so here's a chance now for Virginia Tech to respond. 2 goals for Rachel Clark, 2 goals for Paige Tyson for Virginia Tech, and it's a 4-3 lead for Boston College here in Chestnut Hill. I'm Luis Sanchez, joined alongside Ben Ultra. Happy to be with you, bringing you some ACC lacrosse here on ACC Network Extra. Virginia Tech looking for their first win in Chestnut Hill since 2001. Downey tries to cut it back below the goal line. Quick pass is intercepted, taken away. Now a chance to run upfield here for Cassidy Weeks. Weeks in a sprint up into the offensive zone. Weeks with the lane, dishes it back to the left side. Martello runs into a couple of bodies. Oh, what a save by Torres. Comes back out for Smith, and Boston College will reset.
That's a big save from Torres, but a big ground ball as well for Ryan Smith. There were 3 Hokies in the area who had a chance, I think, to pick up that ball first and go right back up the field, but Smith able to sneak in there and earn an extra possession for Boston College.
Eagles will slow it down here with 50 on the possession clock. Cut back inside here for Martello. Help side D comes off, but no one there. Clark's gonna have to hustle to try to keep this one in play, and she will.
Well, Martello was expecting somebody to be drifting in that corner, but I think it was McKenna Davis who had started to cut toward the middle of the field.
Now chance. Davis trying to spit away. Another good defensive play coming in to help and poke that one free was Mia Posey. Now it's a 50-50 ball taken by Martello, but spun away and lost it. Another chance. She splits the D. Great effort from Monty. Now Virginia Tech was short-handed on the offensive end. Will slow it down. Ella Rishko will just pull it back.
And good defensive possession by the Hokies there. That's what they want to do in terms of sliding and getting the double. Davis, as she turned her back to the extra defender, didn't see the double come down from Posey, and so she's able to come in clean with the stick check and knock it loose.
Now chance for Vergano, who fires a shot, and that one had some mustard on it, but Dolce stops it.
And Vergano tried to catch Dolce off guard there and sneak it through near side post, but another excellent save by the sophomore.
A couple of these chances going low on on Dolce. Torres came out aggressively there to the top of the circle, but Boston College resets here as we approach 10 minutes remaining in the second quarter.
See if they run the clear out for Clark again.
Good sprinting start, low shot. That one hits off the post. Eagles get a reset on the possession clock.
It's an interesting move there by Driscoll. She got up to speed, and then as she got right into the middle, she sort of throttled it down to open herself up for the shot.
Return, trying to fire it, but ran into some traffic. And Emma Lapinto was trying to make something out of nothing.
Well, she got through the double team, and then as she went to follow through on the shot, that's where the foul was committed. And a nice move by Driscoll here. Again, she just slows herself down to be able to drop it low and open up that shot. It's a little change of pace there.
Lapinto goes in, got it dispossessed. Good active sticks, but that one goes in. Off the ricochet, it finds the back of the net.
Well, they don't have own goals in lacrosse, so I think Lapinto's gonna get credit for it, but this is essentially an own goal, I think, from Torres. I don't know, somebody maybe batted this in for BC, but this ball is up for grabs. You can see Lapinto has it knocked away from behind, and then in the scrum, oh, how about Belle Smith with the quick hands up and through. Talk about the quick hand eye. I mean, that ball is in and gone in a flash from Smith, who gets her second of the day.
Those are the type of plays that Belle Smith can make. She's good on one-on-ones, but also finds herself in the nitty-gritty areas of play, and that time picks up the loose ball, and now at 252 career points, 8th all-time, and trying to track down Kenzie Kent and Sarah Manley.
Well, she may get there today, but she's going to rapidly climb that list as the season goes on. Certainly one of the top weapons that this Boston College attack has, and a player we know who really contributes on both ends of the field.
Good win off the draw here for the Eagles. They'll try to get it to Reynolds, and now Reynolds cuts across, dishes it back down low for Smith. Smith shoots and scores! Back-to-back goals for Belle Smith, and Boston College has opened up a 3-goal lead.
Great little give and go here between Reynolds and Smith. This is a little bit of what Boston College dealt with against Northwestern on Thursday, sort of this pick and roll movement. Well, you can see great communication between two of the veterans on this Eagles team. Smith sliding to the front, the deke, and the goal.
Well, Belle Smith, aiming for another stellar season here for Boston College, was a top 25 Tewaaraton Award finalist back in 2023, was named ACC Midfielder of the Year, and Well, 3 goals is a good start here for Smith.
Absolutely, and you wondered how she was going to rebound. You know, Northwestern really held her in check on Thursday. Sort of kind of kept her pinned on the defensive side of the field for the most part, so made her work a lot on that end, so maybe wasn't able to have the same kind of offensive impact that we're used to seeing her have. But, you know, the way Boston College has pushed the ball in transition today, you know, that makes her such a huge weapon. We saw her score a trail goal back in the first quarter, and now even off that draw control there, just getting up the field quickly, working nicely in tandem with Andrea Reynolds for the last goal.
A chance here. 6-3 lead for Boston College after trailing 2-0 early on. Virginia Tech will regain possession, and Vergano will try to find an avenue to get back into the offensive area. Boston College sending the pressure.
Now, for as good as Virginia Tech has been with these draw controls, it doesn't feel like they have had an overwhelming amount of possessions, and that is due to the pressure of Boston College on the defensive side. They've already forced 5 turnovers today. Virginia Tech has done the same, but you know, it just feels like the Eagles have won more of those 50-50 balls, 8-5 lead on ground balls so far. Dolce's come up with some big saves as well, and Virginia Tech's gonna have to sort of go back into the well and find some plays that work for them on offense. That time, just a tough crossfield pass that gets away.
It's intended for Downey, and now a chance here for the Eagles. Colasante try to get it into the offensive area. She finds Baker. And now Eagles going quickly. Here's a chance, shove from behind. That one trickles to the side, and it looks like a foul is going to be called. Smith had a good lane there, but Emma Monty comes across.
You see where the foul is. Yeah, Monty definitely slides in front, so I don't think that would go as an offensive foul on Smith, even though Monty sort of took the worst of the collision. But again, how many times have we seen this now from BC today? In transition, they're going quick and trying to not let Virginia Tech get set up.
Smith scores off the free position. And Boston College leads it 7-3 in the second.
First of the year for Ryan Smith. First free position chance she gets. She makes it count. How about Boston College in this second quarter? Taking the momentum and really pulling away. And really, since Virginia Tech had the 2-0 lead, the Eagles have really righted the ship, used that quick transition game to their advantage, and they're on a big run right now.
Back-to-back goals by Belle Smith, and now Ryan Smith gets in the action. First goal of the season is played every game this year for Boston College. We've seen her in the draw circle, and now finding more opportunities this season on the offensive end. Abby Harrod has done a great job in the circle since taking over for Smith. Gresham back in there for Virginia Tech. Eagles, one of the deepest teams in the country, return 4 of the top 5 scorers and bring back all but 2 players on the defensive end. Added 7 new freshmen. A loaded roster for Boston College, and they'll get possession here on the bouncer.
That's a really tough battle there for possession. And Keisha Walker-Weinstein bailing out Smith, who was in some trouble there with a timeout. Just had to wait for her to establish possession there, but that was a really good battle. And that's where you feel like this draw control setup is now going to come down to. That's part of the reason they make the switch and put Smith on the outside of the circle and put Harrod in the middle, just to sort of muck it up a little bit more and try to make it a 3-on-3 as opposed to a 1-on-1. Boston College feeling like, you know, they'll take the chances on their 3v3 as opposed to a more true 1-on-1 with just Gresham against whoever it may be.
We said it, Gresham at 5'8" has that size advantage. You take a look across the ACC, these are the women's teams in the top 25 And the ACC has just been obviously the power conference, but how about the teams like Virginia and Clemson, even a Virginia Tech this season, off to impressive starts. It just shows you how deep this conference can be any given year.
Absolutely, and I mean, you know, you're always going to see at least one, usually two, sometimes three of these teams from the ACC representing in the National Final Four. So it always is a great battle, no matter who you're taking on in conference, whether it's, you know, a Virginia Tech or a Pitt or a Louisville. You know, there are no easy outs on any given day, and, you know, you've got programs like a Virginia Tech starting to come up, and they really want to test these top teams, whether it's a Boston College or a Notre Dame or a North Carolina. So it is not an easy chore for these teams at the top to try to stay at the top, because you know you're always getting hunted down.
Last year, Syracuse and Boston College in the Final Four, and Kristen Skyra said, hey, we were within 2 goals of both those teams. Syracuse beating Virginia Tech in the ACC quarterfinals, 14-12. Hokies continue to rise. Here's Weeks, fires a shot. That one goes high.
Nice little roll dodge there from Weeks, able to spin off and open up for the shot.
Eagles reset back up top with Rachel Clark.
Yeah, and look at the spacing here.
It's that ISO play, right?
Yep, double comes earlier, though. That forces her to give it up. So good adjustment by Virginia Tech.
Weeks finds an opening, scores! Number 100 for Cassidy Weeks. And Boston College, a 5-goal lead.
We saw a little bit of this from Weeks on Thursday. A good shooter from the outside. And she gets her space before the double team comes, right? We saw the double on Rachel Clark force her to give the ball up. That's usually the scenario. You draw the double, find the open player. This time, though, Weeks steps inside, double doesn't get there in time, and she unleashes a ripper low.
Again, it goes back to that step where you get the defender to bite, and then that quick change of direction. A lot of these Eagles players have that quick one step one way, but shimmy to the other, and it opens up so many.
And Weeks is a difference maker because of her ability to shoot from the outside. A lot of times you'll see that jab step and then a player attack the net and try to get a good look from in close. Weeks, with her ability to shoot from the outside, can get that jab step, and it's almost like a three-point shooter going into a step-back three. This time, Weeks hits the jab, opens up the shooting lane, and fires it low.
100th career goal for Cassidy Weeks. Boston College, a very good second quarter here for the Eagles. 8-3 over Virginia Tech. Well, maybe that first quarter just kind of maybe feeling themselves out after that loss against Northwestern, but this is the Boston College team that a lot of people were expecting to see.
Yeah, again, you wondered what the mentality was going to be like coming off the first loss. And I think they sort of had the right idea coming out. You could see early on they wanted to push the tempo like they did in the second half against Northwestern. They tried to take some early shots, but they were maybe just going a little too fast for their own good. Now they've settled into a quick tempo that suits them. They're playing at their speed, and right now Virginia Tech is, you know, just trying to recover and match it on the defensive end.
Kayla Martello draws the free position. She'll go in, a bounce shot, it scores! Kayla Martello makes it 9-3 Boston College here with 6:19 remaining in the second quarter.
It's a 6-0 run right now for the Eagles, and what you're starting to see is, you know, now they've sort of started to figure out the draw control as well. You know, they've turned it into a true 3-on-3 battle. They've started to win some of those situations. Now they're getting free position looks, which are always so dangerous for any team, regardless of team that has so many offensive weapons like BC.
Virginia Tech was leading the draws 8-2. It is getting closer here. It's now 8-5, and a couple of these wins in the circle for Boston College have led to goals. Now 2 for 2 on the free positions for Boston College. 21st goal of the season for Kayla Martello. She's trying to catch Rachel Clark, but Clark also with a pair here today has kept that distance.
4 straight draw wins.
Smith now quickly into the circle. The Eagles have scored 9 of the last 10 goals here in this matchup. 6 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Back inside, taken by Reynolds. Reynolds trying to find an opening, dishes as she falls. Smith, oh, a scoop shot and score! Fourth goal for Belle Smith, and the late adjustment got that one.
Well, that pass was available early. Reynolds, I think, wasn't sure about it initially and then waited for the second defender to come to her and then was able to hit that seam pass to a wide open Belle Smith in front. And again, such an intelligent finisher. Check it out here as Reynolds again waits. See, the pass is available there, but she waits for the second defender to come in, and then Smith, great job drawing Torres off the line and finishing low through the 5-hole. This has been a great get-back day for Belle Smith. After Northwestern held her in check, she has erupted with 4 goals. Second time Reynolds able to set her up, and this Boston College attack is really clicking right now. How about 10 goals on 13 shots? That is an unreal near 80% shooting percentage.
15th goal of the season for Belle Smith, and it's a loaded roster we've been talking about for Boston College. Smith, a first-team inside lacrosse preseason honoree, and she joins Sydney Scales, Cassidy Weeks, a couple of the newcomers in Emma Lapinto and Becky Browndorf, amongst others, here on the Inside Lacrosse preseason honorees. And this is what makes Boston College not only a deep team, but a really talented team.
Absolutely, and it's like BC has been for the better part of the last decade. It's pick your poison on defense. You know, if you try to take away the midfielders, all of a sudden now you've got to deal with Rachel Clark and Emma Lapinto, who can beat their defenders one-on-one. If you try to double down on them, well, now you have to worry about, you know, the midfielders like Belle Smith getting to the front of the net and making plays, you know, passing plays in front. So ultimately, this Boston College offense has a variety of ways to attack you, and it is so difficult to defend. You have to be physical, you have to be aggressive, but you can't necessarily be over-aggressive because they have ways to beat you that way as well.
Smith scored 4 goals against Robert Morris in the 23-2 victory for Boston College. He scored at least 3 goals for the 3rd time this year. Also had a hat trick against Jacksonville on the road for the Eagles.
If you're Virginia Tech right now, you just need a possession because you've lost 4 straight draws. Feels like the Eagles have something figured out there with Herod battling against Gresham. Kristen Skyra not ready to make a change yet and go to Vergano. But Hokies just need a chance to get the ball, and they'll have it here after the push.
Briscoe again. It feels like the sophomore has been involved in all the heavy contact here today, as she earns possession back for the Hokies, and a chance for 4-1 Virginia Tech to stop this Boston College run. Hokies have had their shots. 5 on goal so far. Vergano. Junior will cut it back outside. One-on-one battle behind the net. A couple of cutters come across, but nothing open enough.
Yeah, I go back to that play that they've scored a couple times on already, trying to get Tyson off ball, cutting to the front.
Vergano trying to switch it across, and too much contact there on the shove from Sydney Scales.
Not happy about it, but just a little over-aggressive there, taking Vergano to the ground. So he just gets the stick all on the body there, and a little bit of a cross-check.
Vergano hits the post, comes back out, it's in the circle. Goalie's best friend coming in clutch.
It's a kind bounce there for Dolce. You could hear that ring off the post all around the field house, and then fortunate that ball stays in the crease, and allowing Dolce first rights to it.
Somebody forget to cut the turf this morning. That one just kind of died down there, you know?
Might have taken a chunk out of the iron the way it sounded.
Now the Eagles trying to get some more offensive action. Lapinto runs into some traffic. Quick turnaround here for Martello. She got shoved off, and that's going to be a foul called against Virginia Tech.
Yeah, another free position look coming here for Martello again. Playing in tight space, something she's accustomed to. just tried to run the seam between 4 defenders, was counting on the whistle to help her out, and earns another good look.
Martello with 2 goals, looking for a hat trick. Off the free position, hits it off the stick of Torres. Not overly aggressive from Jocelyn Torres, but did enough to be in the right position.
Big ground ball win there by Virginia Tech.
Now a chance for Caroline Little. Little with numbers on her side. Cuts it back outside. Downey looking for the sidearm pass. Gets it to the open side. Oh, mama! That's on the top shelf. And Olivia Vergado with a nice goal for Virginia Tech.
Well, Virginia Tech learning a little something out of the BC playbook here, getting going in transition. This was a tough 50-50 ball after the save by Torres on the free position chance by Martello. You can see she does a good job getting square to this shot and not selling one side to the other. Martello ends up throwing it right into her chest, basically, and then Little springs the break, and Vergano, you can see how much that meant, rifling it top shelf past Dolce. First of the day for Vergano, and trying to be the spark plug here for the Hokies.
14th goal this season, an all-ACC second-team selection last year. Had 5 goals against Louisville in their previous matchup. Also had a 6-point day against VCU in the season opener with 3 goals and 3 assists. So Vergano's one of those players that obviously she can score, but also helps her teammates in really good positions. That time the beneficiary of a great pass from Kayla Downey.
See, she's played well in her career against Boston College. 7 goals and an assist prior to today, but it's really the first good look she's had.
Eagles defenders have made it hard. The top 2 scorers for Virginia Tech and Vergano and Downey. Another draw control win for Boston College. Now Baker with the speed into the zone. Jay Baker, been a big part of the run here for Boston College in the early going. And there's another shot from Weeks, and she goes top shelf. Eagles respond. It's now 11-4 Boston College.
Almost a carbon copy of her first goal, right? Just different placement on the shot. Again, the split step opens up the lane, and Weeks confident in that shot from the outside, just able to let it go. You see the second defender late to get there again, and Weeks too quick with the shot, and that is a pistol going over the shoulder of Torres. Not much you can do about that.
Yeah, Lauren Render just a little slow there from the sophomore to come across, and now Boston College have outscored Virginia Tech 8-2 here in the second. Weeks, who just picked up her 100th career goal, picks up 101. The BC bench happy about it.
And again, talking about that late closeout, it's not necessarily late because you're expecting that offensive player to try to turn the corner, and so that second defender is probably looking more for a trail check because you're expecting that offensive player to curl towards goal. But Cassidy Weeks is different. She takes that shot from 20 yards out and can beat the goalie with it. So you have to find a way to make an adjustment there for Virginia Tech, and you have to show a little bit earlier and just force Weeks to give up the ball, or live with that shot from the outside and hope that your goalie's able to come up with a big save.
Well, those Weeks sisters are built different, as you said, Ben, and Cassidy trying to find her role here for Boston College and etch her name in BC history. It's been a phenomenal player. Cassidy, who played with her older sister, Courtney, for a number of years here at Boston College. Courtney has since graduated. A couple of sibling matchups in this game. Tell you more about that as we progress through the broadcast. Bad pass, gonna give it right back to Boston College.
Yeah, missed opportunity here with the green card. So you only get a minute on the woman up. Now BC has a chance not just to run out the penalty here once they get the clear, but to sort of run out the clock on this second quarter. Wow, offensive foul drawn. That's a good take there from Rishko. felt a little bit of contact, hit the deck, and able to win the possession back. And Hokies will have a little more time with the advantage here.
That's the type of play that we've seen from Rishko here throughout the game. So now a 2-woman up opportunity for Virginia Tech as Smith and Baker will sit.
Smith just forcing the issue a little bit too much there going into the contact. I feel like this is almost a must-score situation here if you're Virginia Tech. Got to take advantage of these 7-on-5 spots. And this is some of what plagued Boston College against Northwestern. It took a ton of penalties against the Wildcats. And not easy to play down, especially 2 down.
That one a little late after the whistle had blown. It gets up top here on Claire Shada. Now 1 woman up for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, I think you're right. That came after the whistle had already blown, so I don't think you're going to get another call here. You're already awarded the free position.
Shada, who has a goal already, will get the free position. Dishes it out on the restart. Outside look, pulling it back, now resetting.
Might have been another free position there. Not called, though.
Behind the cage, back up top. Passed around for O'Malley. Now gets it to Vergano. O'Malley gets it back. Another errant pass for Virginia Tech, and that's going to go out of play. Boston College will have it back here with 1:50 remaining in the second.
And that's Hunter Roman. I don't know if that's going to be a cause turnover necessarily for BC, but Hunter Roman just smothering O'Malley there forced that bad pass.
Back to even strength. Eagles enter ahead 11-4 here in the first half over Virginia Tech. Belle Smith, who leads the charge. 4 goals for the Eagles. Dropping it behind the net, so another reset comes. LaPinto back outside for Weeks. Here's Cassidy Weeks now, gets by the defender. Weeks draws the pass to the top for Clark. Clark runs into the double team. Now Smith trying to find an opening. Goes cross and one-time shot and score! Cassidy Weeks with number 3. And Boston College leads 12-4 here with 56 seconds left. And the officials will talk about this last goal.
Yeah, Weeks was right on the doorstep. I don't know if they're discussing maybe she was in the crease. I guess they're going to say good goal here. They're doing the stick check.
That's what Mary Griffin, I think, was trying to plead to the officials is maybe she stepped into the crease here on the near side. You'll see it on the left side of your screen.
Weeks is going to come in to the left of your screen here at the last moment. Yeah, she's well outside. That's a clean look from Weeks. Great feed for Smith. 5-point day for the senior. Again, just patient. Sees the seam open up there. And even though it looked like there was a deflection on that, Weeks still able to make it work.
th goal this season for Cassidy Weeks. The hat trick here for the Eagles.
About that. Yeah, the little bobble. Weeks actually headed it back into the stick.
That's what they mean when they say use your head on the play, right? What an impressive goal there from Cassidy Weeks. Great job by our production crew to see that one as well.
Always got to watch out for the eagle eyes from up top.
Quick pass through the middle, trying to find it in the slot, but taken away, and Downey almost had a chance to pick it up.
Still time here.
Eagles trying to go quickly. Reynolds puts on the Jets. Reynolds down Main Street, looks for the shot from Martello, and she misses it. Quick reset for Boston College, quick shot, and that one deflects. Boston College with an impressive 9-2 run here in the second. They lead it over Virginia Tech, 12-4. Belle Smith leading the charge with 4 goals for the Eagles. We'll step aside. Stay tuned for halftime and join us back for the start of the third quarter. You're watching ACC Lacrosse on ACC Network Extra. Welcome back to Chestnut Hill, where Boston College leads at 12-4, and Ben, Boston College now outscoring their opponents in the first half, 71-25.
Yeah, you wouldn't know it by the way Virginia Tech got started. A 2-0 run. Hokies seemed to have things in control, but then Boston College started to find its tempo and really sort of went back to relying, you say, on the old standbys. Don't want to make them sound old, but the veterans of the group, Belle Smith, Cassidy Weeks leading the way in that first half for the Eagles, kind of going back to their tried and true ball movement on offense. And boy, they just have been ridiculous in terms of the shooting percentage. 12 goals on 16 shots on goal. They have just gotten continuously good looks no matter what the Hokies have been able to throw at them. And BC has been really good adjusting to seeing where the slide and the double teams are coming from for Virginia Tech and finding the open player to get good looks.
How about the day for Belle Smith? 4 goals, 1 assist for 5 points, and Cassidy Weeks not too far behind with a hat trick for the Eagles. Shea Dolce made 2 saves in the first half, while Jocelyn Torres made 4 saves for the Hokies. I'm Luis Sanchez, happy to be joined alongside Ben Ulsher here in Chestnut Hill. This ACC matchup between Virginia Tech and Boston College. The Eagles bouncing back after that loss against Northwestern. Top 3 matchup between the Eagles and Northwestern, a championship rematch from a year ago. That second quarter really helped Boston College create this lead, and we'll see how Virginia Tech's able to make the adjustments at halftime and come out here in the third.
Incidental stoppage. Looks like there may have been an offsides, but the official said miscounted. There's
a foul behind the play. Virginia Tech will get the restart. That foul is called on Becky Browndorf.
Just holding a little bit too long on the check there. This Eagles defense has been sharp ever since the first couple possessions. They have really been aggressive. Forced a lot of turnovers that way. And gotten the Hokies into some tough passing spots.
There's Downey, who's been held quiet by the Eagles defense. Now disc back up top. There's a shot. It bounces off the stick of Dolce and a score. A lot behind that shot from Mia Posey, and the freshman finds the back of the net.
Well, she's really been the standout today and has had it tough playing both ends for Virginia Tech, but a goal and 2 assists now for the Central New York native. And, Virginia Tech right now just looking for somebody to give them a spark. You mentioned Vergano's been held to just 1 goal on 2 shots on goal, even though she's taken 7 shots. Downey's been limited to 2 assists. She really hasn't had many opportunities to let it fly, only 1 shot for her. So somebody else got to step up for Virginia Tech, and the freshman trying to pick up her game.
Makes it 12-5. Saw Virginia Tech start that first quarter with some momentum. They're able to earn some confidence. We'll see if the same is possible here in the third. String together a couple of goals, and that deficit doesn't feel so big. Another good battle, and there's Gresham again, showing why she is so good in the circle.
Yeah, coming down clean with that one. That'll really help Virginia Tech too, I think. Remember, at one point, they were in front 7-2 on draw controls. And then BC had a run of 4 straight, and that's what really allowed the Eagles to kind of blow this game open. So now Virginia Tech can all of a sudden go back to controlling the draw circle. They're going to earn themselves more possessions, and they're going to have a chance to rally back.
There's a quick shot. Dolce! Big save at point blank range, and wow. Another big one for the sophomore.
Yeah, that's Downey's first shot on goal. Point blank chance. Not going to ask for a better look for your leading scorer. And Shea Dolce, as she has done so many times, rising to the occasion.
Two of the young, up-and-coming goalies in the country. And Dolce, a big reason why Boston College is having so much success. There's a shot upstairs, but Clark misses.
And it's funny you mention that because that's something Hokies head coach Kristen Skyra talked with us about as well earlier in the week, saying that, look, this is maybe a little bit of an informal battle here between Jocelyn Torres and Shea Dolce. Who's sort of going to maybe take the spot on that US U20 team, or an eye towards the future and maybe two future senior national team goalies as well.
So much talent, especially with the upcoming Olympics in 2028 in LA. Lacrosse being added to the sports. There's a chance on the spin. So excited to see what LA will bring. There's a shot from the outside, and Eagles have support back there in McKenna Davis. Davis was ready to go, but there'll be a stoppage here. And they get the go-ahead. So 15 seconds on the possession clock. Eagles gonna have to go quickly here. Dished off to Clark. She runs into a body. It's gonna be a foul here against Virginia Tech.
Close call. Dunphy again, the one who pays the price, but Clark had the right of way there. Even though BC went on that big run, Clark was not really a part of it. So this is going to be her first look in a while.
There's a bouncer from Rachel Clark, and she gets the hat trick.
Again.
Every game she has played this year, at least 3 goals for Rachel Clark. She is hard to stop.
Absolutely, and you know, again, even on a day like today, where it doesn't seem like she's the focal point, she has found a way to get her offense. You know, a couple of ISO plays for her early on, getting goals, and then this time, a late in the shot clock cut leads to a free position chance, and this has just been a heck of a day on free position looks for Boston College. I believe now 4 for 5 from the 8-meter spot.
You were mentioning Jocelyn Torres. She was part of that U.S. team. And take a look at Kristen Skyra. She told us this is an opportunity for her to learn, to see how it's done. And she also talked about Virginia Tech being in a similar position Boston College was in before they started this rise, not only in the ACC, but to the national level. She says this is a Virginia Tech team that can do that. They can make it to the ACC championship. They can win tournament games, and she is confident about it. She doesn't shy away from the challenges that are brought on by a tough ACC schedule. And she tells you how it is.
Yeah, I thought she was very honest, about, where this Hokies program is at. Feels like they're in a good spot where they've got some really talented players, but ultimately, you have to find a way to go out on the field and prove it. And, it's been a tough day for them today, but ultimately for, somewhat of a young team, it is a learning process, and you have to learn how to take the next step in these big games.
Good start for Virginia Tech. Just need to sustain it here and get a couple of goals on the possession side, and anything could happen. Trailing 13-5 here in the third. Turnaround there by Shada. Resets it back up top with 30 seconds. Quick move there by Little. She was forced back to the outside. BC's defense doing everything they can to earn this possession back. Vergano gets it back for Rishko. Rishko looking for the quick pass. Has to readjust and will draw the foul.
Again, just you see how aggressive BC is getting on the ball. Anytime there's a little bobble, a slight miscue on a pass, 1, 2, sometimes 3 gold jerseys right on top of you. Makes it so tough to just recover and catch your breath, late in a possession especially.
Rishko will have it on the free position. Had a chance there, but then again, the defense comes over. Oh, man.
This is the second time on a free position chance. Usually as a shooter, you think you have the advantage at least to get a step or two, but, we saw Sydney Scales do it earlier, deflect a shot. This time again, just so quick, anticipating that whistle. The two defenders get off the line and smother Rishko before she even has a chance to think about where she's shooting that ball.
Keeping that stick up has made such a difference on the free positions. Boston College 3 for 4 on those opportunities, while Virginia Tech now 0 for 3. And a foul is called here. The Eagles reset with 10 minutes remaining in the third. Back down low. Rotate it towards Davis. She'll get it. Alapinto, quick pass up front, and it's taken away by Torres. Good read from the sophomore.
Yeah, that's what we talked about a little bit earlier. Sometimes as goalie, you have to be your own best defender, taking away those passing lanes from behind the net. If you're going to turn your attention to where that ball is, right at X, got to get that stick up, take away the passing lanes, and Torres doing a good job of that.
It's a good idea by Lapinto. She kind of tried the no-look pass there. Her eyes were set to the outside, but Martello was cutting in and tried to feed her in the low slot. But again, good read by Torres, and the foul was committed. Drawing that one for Virginia Tech was Sydney Golini. Now the Hokies with a chance. Golini hounded quickly, some contact upstairs. So another reset comes here for Virginia Tech.
Incidental, I thought that was an opportunity maybe that could have been a card, but you can see again, as soon as that ball gets over the restraining line, that's when sort of that contact opens back up a little bit. You know, under the new rule system, is sort of taken away a lot of the contact between the restraining lines. But Boston College looking to trap as soon as that ball gets over.
Couple of gold jerseys coming across for the Eagles. Now Baker trying to force it back to the outside. Colasante back behind the net, and a shot clock violation here against Virginia Tech.
And that's part of the strategy of double teaming quickly once the clear is in. You know, the shot clock's already wound down a little bit, just getting into the offensive zone. And then if you have to dance out of a double team early on, that can cost you 15, 20, 25 seconds, and all of a sudden you're down under 30, and that's when you start to have to kind of run your emergency offense.
You see Virginia Tech, second time today, they've been forced on a turnover off the expiration of the shot clock. Now the Eagles will have possession, ahead by 8 here in the third. Smith trying to get the ISO. Smith back inside, double team comes, pass back out. Smith was asking for the give and go, but Martello will take it herself. She gets the foul. Had a lane momentarily, but then the stick came up.
Yeah, this is the experience of Kayla Martello coming into play. Goes for the lane, sees the double, steps back, waits for it to open back up, and then goes a second time, not deterred by it closing out the first time. And another free position goal for BC. They have just been excellent on these opportunities today.
Eagles now 4 for 5 on the free position, and Martello joins Clark, Weeks, and Smith with a hat trick today for Boston College. The Eagles now lead it 13-5 in Chestnut Hill. Back in Chestnut Hill, and what a day for Belle Smith. 4 goals and an assist. She leads the team in points, but has done it all.
And done it in a variety of ways, too, which is what you're used to seeing from her. In transition through the midfield, working nicely in tandem with Andrea Reynolds on a couple of occasions, but always finding ways to finish, especially in front of the net. That even when she's not picking up points, you go back to the last free position goal by Kayla Martello, Smith was the one who put that whole play in motion. So, you know, so influential for what BC wants to do. And now moving into a 3-way tie for 6th on the all-time scoring list. And Charlotte North, I'm sure, is watching somewhere. So knows that Belle Smith is going to be tracking her down very shortly.
Charlotte North, our colleague here on ACC Network Extra, she had a big assignment on that Thursday night game with that BC Northwestern matchup. Even Kenzie Kent, who's a very talented athlete here at Boston College. Sarah Manley tied now with Belle Smith. Coach Walker Weinstein should be happy with this result after a little bit of a slow start for Boston College in the first quarter. They've turned it around.
Again, you could see what the plan was coming out, that they wanted to play with tempo. Again, that's what served them well, I thought, in the second half against Northwestern, helped them get back into that game a little bit, was playing aggressive defense, which is what they're known for, playing quickly on offense. That's what they tried to do out of the gate, but I think they just got too up-tempo, went too fast, led to some mistakes, led to some opportunities for Virginia Tech. Hokies were able to take advantage. Once they settled into a comfortable, quick tempo, Boston College has looked seemingly unstoppable.
The Eagles will try to add to the tally here with possession. Hokies trying to keep it close here in the third. Davis behind will get it started. Waits for the quick pass, got it to Lapinto. Oh, a drop shot on the bouncer from Lapinto. And she makes it a 10-goal game here in Chestnut Hill.
Well, now you get two pieces of the BC attack who have been sort of integral all season, but have really not had a great opportunity today. And of course, they combine now to get a goal. Davis doing what she's done all season, operating from behind the cage, and Lapinto, one thing that we've seen from her is a variety of creative finishes, and this is another one, able to keep her stick away from the defender and just sneak that ball inside of Torres between the post.
14th goal this season for the newcomer to Boston College. Part of the transfers that came in this year. Lapinto coming over with Becky Browndorf, who both arrived from Florida, having successful careers for the Gators. And for McKenna Davis, now 2 assists away from 100, will be the 5th Boston College player in school history to reach that mark. Good turn there, and then just running to a couple of bodies was Caroline Little. Little now has to get it away. Back over the stick of Rishko, and just another errant pass here for Virginia Tech in the third quarter.
Yeah, a little miscommunication there, I think, between Little and Rishko about getting the spacing right. And again, BC quick to double team. Little got it away, gave Virginia Tech a chance, kind of in an odd-numbered situation, but again, they get sped up.
Here's a good job by Smith to try to readjust, but Torres even better, protecting the top shelf.
Yeah, again, good-looking transition for Smith. A nice save from Torres, and then Dunphy in the right spot for the backup. Nice distribution there from Torres.
Now Rishko has helped Virginia Tech when they've needed it the most. Now the Hokies back in the offensive side.
I think for the Hokies, you got to get back to your bread and butter here. Got to try to find something for Vergano or Downey.
Another quick chance, but that one's going to miss to the left of the net. Looking for some contact, but Virginia Tech will keep it here with 50. Now Downey. His younger sister on Boston College's roster. Highly recruited freshman for the Eagles, and Lacey Downey. Both from Babylon, New York.
2 games so far for the younger of the Downey sisters. Already has her first career collegiate goal under her belt. Probably going to be the first of what is expected to be many.
So much talent in that family as well. We've talked about the Weeks early on. The Downeys made an impact in Babylon. Lacey and Kayla also playing with Olivia Vergano when they were younger. So that duo has been together a while, and Lacey probably looking to the other sideline. But you guys left me over here. Now Weeks trying to turn the corner. Weeks has a lane. Weeks shoots and scores! Have a day, Cassidy Weeks. Goal number 4.
And again, Weeks always able to show you something a little bit different. This time around, able to get the step on the defender and does take the extra route going in front towards the goal. So maybe Torres anticipating that shot a little bit earlier, and now Weeks able to get closer and close. Watch Torres here try to come out to cut down the angle. And again, Weeks is taking shots from out far, so maybe Torres, you could see, ready for that shot a little bit earlier. And then as Weeks draws closer, Torres had already anticipated the shot, so she's sort of stuck a little bit. And as Weeks is able to get closer, able to open up a little bit more room.
A timeout by Virginia Tech. The Hokies, their offense has run stagnant here. Just one goal in the third. They scored 2 in the first, 2 in the second. But here with 3 minutes left, it's 1 on the board. Take a look at today's leading scorers. Belle Smith, Cassidy Weeks with 4 goals apiece. Rachel Clark and Kayla Martello with a hat trick. Ryan Smith and Emma Lapinto with a goal for Boston College. Well, we told you about the Downey sisters and the impact that they've been able to make. Kayla choosing Virginia Tech to play against her sister, have the opportunity to play her against her younger sister in Lacey. See Lacey and Kayla, who've been together their whole life and now able to play against competitors. They played obviously on the same team for a long time as they grew up. And told you about Olivia Vergano. How about this? Head coach was Ray Downey with his younger daughters, Kayla and Lacey, being able to coach this team. And this is, you go way back to youth soccer and the development of that relationship. Now playing collegiate lacrosse at their respective universities.
Yeah, as you noted, Lewis, just so many family connections through this sport, up and down seemingly every program at the Division I, even down to the Division II, Division III levels as well. So it is a family game a lot of times, and it's great to see these family reunions during and after games all the time.
I love my family, but none of them were athletic people, so I never got the opportunity to play against or with them. But when you talk to athletes who have a sibling, they really credit that sibling for pushing them to be the best version of themselves.
Yeah, it always sort of seems to up the competitiveness all the way around, and it always makes for great camaraderie if your brother or sister is on the other side. And sometimes, like you said, you get the opportunity to play with each other or against each other down the road, but it's always fun competition for sure.
16-5 for Boston College as they lead it. You always push me to be the best version of myself as well, Ben.
I always try. The older brother you never had.
There you go. That's a nice low shot from McKenna Davis, but stopped again by Torres. Well, there are a lot of highlights, and no moral victories, as Coach Skyra has told us this week, but there are a lot of positives in this matchup for Virginia Tech to take with them and to apply as the season progresses so they can be one of the best teams in this conference towards the end of the year.
Well, again, I think the big part of it for the Hokies is really going to be what they can take away from this game. They learned from that loss to James Madison, who's a top 5 team at the time. And, this is going to be a game that they can learn from as well. Hoping to have a good fourth quarter to cut away into this deficit a little bit. But, they're going to learn about, things they can change or adjust on the defensive end, things they can adjust on the offensive end to maybe find a little bit better conversion rate, ways they can deal with pressure when they take on, what is a very aggressive defensive team right now in Boston College.
Got to put the pieces together here in the early part of the season, so when it does come close to tournament time, you are playing your best lacrosse, and Boston College forcing the turnover there here with a minute remaining in the third quarter. I told you, Kristen Skyra does not shy away from competition and wanting to play the best. That JMU game was against third-ranked James Madison, and now number 1 Boston College on the schedule. So she continues to make the non-conference schedule tough, and of course, playing in the gauntlet of the ACC is a program that will learn a lot about themselves as the season continues to go on.
Absolutely, and really, you know, at this point, the goal for the Hokies is just to be a little bit better than they were last year. You know, have an opportunity. They finished 7th, had to play in that first round of the ACC tournament, picked up a win, able to go take on Syracuse, and, you know, had a good showing last year in the tournament. You know, this year, their goal is probably to avoid that first round and then just go out and again, maybe pull off an upset.
That bouncer goes in on Dolce, and she will just hold on as the clock winds down here in the third quarter. Boston College outscores Virginia Tech 4-1 here in the third. They lead it 16-5. We'll step aside here in Chestnut Hill. Well, Cassidy Weeks having a game. She picked up her 100th career goal on the first score of the day and has not looked back since.
No, and really, you can say this is maybe her best game of the season just in terms of looking for her own offense. Came in with 12 goals, but this has been a showing for her, you know, really showing that she can be a weapon up top. Felt like she had a lot of opportunity in that Northwestern game, did get a couple goals as Boston College was making their comeback, but in order for this Eagles attack to really be complete, it can't just be the players sort of around the crease, the Rachel Clark, the Emma Lopinto. As great as they are, it's really got to be a full 7-person attack for Boston College to be at their peak, and that includes Cassidy Weeks being a weapon from distance, especially because it's a different dimension that Boston College doesn't have a lot of outside of her. So she's shown that opportunity today and has had a heck of a day with 4 goals.
Boston College has won 64 straight games when holding opponents to below 10 goals. That streak started back in February of 2016. Talk a lot about the offensive talent that has been here at Boston College, whether it's Sam Apuzzo, Charlotte North, Kenzie Kent, but the defense has also improved on a year-to-year basis for the Eagles.
Well, and it sometimes becomes sort of the unheralded part, but you're right, Lewis, it is sort of a big reason why Boston College was able to grab hold of control in this game. And another great example right there, takeaway off the draw control.
Weeks called for it back. Clark fires a shot.
First time she's been stopped.
Now a good chance on the one-on-one for Lopinto on the near side. Calling for some support. Couple of defenders come in. That would have been a highlight reel goal if she got that one.
Yeah, just couldn't quite get the leverage as she sort of tried to turn to the backhand, falling down, and good anticipation by Torres. You know, knowing not much was going on there, quick hand-eye, able to snatch that one out of midair. But again, to your point about the defense, you know, the Eagles have been so aggressive today, looking for those quick double teams, and they have really forced Virginia Tech into some unforced errors as a result. Giving Dolce some easy looks for saves. She's been good as well on free positions, and that's maybe one of the more underappreciated parts about this Boston College defense. As good as they are at doubling and sliding and forcing turnovers. Oh, by the way, you've also got one of the best goalies in the nation who's an excellent shot stopper and distributor to help that transition offense for BC on the back side of it.
Dolce has not allowed a goal on the free positions today. Virginia Tech 0 for 3. 3 saves for the sophomore. Get the restart back down on the field. On the other side, Torres has had to make 6 saves here against the Eagles. Golini gets it into the offensive area. Back down low. Virginia Tech gonna try to rotate it around, get the defense on their heels for Boston College. Rishko back to the near side. Another quick pass down low for Downey. She'll try to turn the corner. Downey has a lane, low shot, saved by Dolce. Another great stop from the sophomore. Back behind. Advantage here for Virginia Tech, trying to take advantage in the offensive side. Sidestep for Vergano. Back, low shot, saved by Dolce. Oh, it trickles towards the line, and she kept it out. Shea Dolce with some awareness.
And again, great distribution. BC already in transition, but exactly what I was talking about. You know, just when the Eagles, have to sag off, down a player on defense, Dolce comes up with 2 massive saves to keep it an 11-goal game. Doesn't matter the margin. She's always looking to be at her best.
Almost put in there. And Dolce was able to track it down. It came off the stick of Becky Browndorf, but Shea Dolce, keeping her head on the play, stops that one at the line. Long pass goes over, and now a race to the far sideline. It didn't look like BC touched it, and they didn't, so it's going to be possession back to the Eagles.
And again, that's just one of those unforced errors that has plagued the Hokies a little bit today. You see 16 turnovers again, not all of them the same. Some have been forced by the Eagles defense, a fair number of them. And then a couple of those just unforced errors on errant passes.
One big adjustment today was Abby Harrod in the draw circle. Ryan Smith has done a great job this season for Boston College, but Harrod took it to another level, going against one of the best in the ACC in Sarah Gresham. Davis spins, fires, scores! McKenna Davis gets on the board.
Able to add to the lead here. Nice tandem work there. Roll, dodge, and Davis able to open up for the shot off the nice feed from Lila Trussell. Or not Trussell, excuse me, Kylie Colbert. Going to be the first career assist for Colbert, I believe. Should get credit for it on the setup. And Davis, usually more of a feeder, but stepping into the scoring role there.
Colbert, 4-time Under Armour All-American, helps feed the junior. And McKenna Davis, product from New York. A lot of these New York kids, they've played against each other for a long time. And not just here in the collegiate level, but whether it's high school or club. Get to know each other a little bit, get to pick up on some routines, and also get to make some friendships that last a very long time.
Well, there was Harrod almost caught off guard that time, was still sort of giving instructions to her fellow draw control teammates, and the whistle blew. Gresham was there, but again, Harrod doing enough to turn it into a 3-on-3, and that's what has tipped the draw control, not in Boston College's favor necessarily, but just made it more of a 50-50 battle, and it's allowed the Eagles to get a few more possessions, especially since the start of the second quarter. And again, the shooting percentage has just been off the charts for BC today. 17 goals on 23 shots on goal.
In-game adjustments for BC coaching staff and Acacia Walker-Weinstein and Jennifer Kent. They are doing what they can to relay the messages to the players on the field. And then in turn, the players are listening and applying it to the gameplay.
Yeah, certainly the in-game adjustments were there. We saw during one timeout earlier on, Coach Walker-Weinstein even giving some just sort of stick instructions to her attacking group about, how to handle the pressure that Virginia Tech was throwing their way. But I think more than that, it was the game plan was there, and it was just after the first couple minutes, Boston College sort of had to find their level of tempo that they wanted to play at, and the Hokies just weren't quite able to keep up once BC hit where they wanted to be at.
Hokies trying to get the offense going here in the fourth. On the flip side of that coin, Ben, is what's Virginia Tech have to do to kind of sustain the success that they were able to have in the first quarter for all 4 quarters?
I mean, I think they, certainly have to find a way to adjust to dealing with an aggressive defense. I'm sure at times they have not met quite as much resistance, and that sort of allowed Downey and Vergano and Rishko to play with the ball a little bit more. here we've seen, Boston College be very aggressive today, whether it's bringing early double teams or putting pressure on players to keep the ball away from Vergano and Downey as much as possible, and putting pressure on some of the other attackers for Virginia Tech to beat them.
There's a shot for LaPinto, and she'll get it to go. Emma LaPinto finds another score, and Boston College is running away with this one, 17-5 here in Chestnut Hill. Back in Chestnut Hill, 18-5, Boston College leading Virginia Tech. And, well, not just all offense for Boston College. A big reason for this success is the defense.
Again, sometimes as well as the defense has played, the goalie doesn't always get her fair share of the credit, but chance here for hashtag SC Top 10 maybe. Shea Dolce pulling it off the line, coming up with a big stop even on her own teammate. Becky Browndorf slid it back in her direction, and Dolce had to be quick on it. Credited with 4 saves today, but has only faced 9 shots on goal. Really a credit again to the entire group defensively for Boston College, but Dolce's made some big stops, especially free position. That's really why I think she's been huge. And, even when Virginia Tech has gotten good looks, Dolce has been there and is going to be so big, you feel like, if Boston College is going to make, again, another significant run in the NCAA tournament.
Eagles trying to go to another national championship game. Virginia Tech looking for an opportunity to make the national tournament. Have some opportunities with the opponents in the ACC. Try to increase this resume. Baker now trying to find a pass. Nothing there. Trying to rotate it back around. Little shake there for Weeks. Gives it up to LaPinto and got the contact, but just missed it wide. Eagles were a preseason favorite in the ACC preseason poll. Picked up 8 of the 10 first-place votes. Boston College picking up their first ACC championship a year ago with a win against UNC. On the near side. Shot clock's going to go down to 10 here for Boston College. Baker trying to turn, and she'll draw the foul here.
Now they're going to give her the goal. Continuation after the shooting space whistle.
So Baker going to find the back of the net there. And Boston College increases their lead to 18-5.
Hey, you don't see that one all the time, but the shot came pretty much at the same time as the shooting space whistle. You can see nobody had stopped on the play yet. The whistle and the shot were pretty much simultaneous. And so they elect to award Baker the goal anyway.
The Baker with half a dozen in 7 games so far this season.
Eight different goal scorers now today for Boston College. Just what they love to do, right? Spread it around, give everyone an opportunity.
Now Virginia Tech trying to cut into it. Rishko had an opportunity but pulled it back. So they'll give her the free position.
Yeah, you can see as soon as she got that ground ball, she was looking for a quick shot, and then a couple of Eagles just jumped in front of her. Leading to the free position chance. Hokies have yet to score from the 8-meter.
Shea Dolce 0 for 3. Can Rishko get one? She does! And she goes top shelf over Shea Dolce. Rishko feels like that's one that she deserves in the way she played today's game.
Yeah, she's really been in the mix. She's been physical. You know, Boston College has really made a concerted effort to take her away. She is their best converter on free positions, 3 of 4 coming into today. And this was not an easy one. I had to fight through that stick check of scales. That's how Boston College has stopped a few of these free position chances. Defenders have been quick to close, and Briscoe able to fight through the contact there and convert upstairs.
Take a look at the upcoming schedule for Virginia Tech. They'll be at home for the next 2, taking on Elon, and then that ACC quarterfinal rematch against Syracuse, who's top 4 in the country. And they'll hit the road before returning back home for that key ACC matchup against Duke.
Orange coming off a big win against Notre Dame yesterday. That's always a pivotal ACC matchup. So Syracuse will be feeling pretty good about itself. And for the Hokies, it's just going to be, you know, try to bounce back against Elon in the midweek, and then another bite at the apple against a top 10 team. Like you said, in the ACC, you're going to have opportunities to enhance your resume. So you just have to, you know, find one of those days where you're able to convert. And for Virginia Tech, you know, they've certainly played well at home in the past. We saw that they were able to give Boston College a test at home last year. So maybe they can, you know, give Syracuse a test this season.
There's a shot and a score. Another opportunity for the Eagles on the advantage, and it's Molly Driscoll, the freshman, finding the back of the net.
Add another new score into the mix. Driscoll's had a couple decent looks today. This time, again, it's the transition game for Boston College. Turnover out high by Virginia Tech in the offensive zone. Leads to the run out. Unsettled situation for the Eagles. And again, good quick ball movement. Opens up an easy look here for Driscoll. She's able to step into that one. Beat Torres upstairs.
3rd goal of the year for Driscoll. She's played in every game so far in her freshman season.
And how about Elizabeth Kirk getting to help her first career assist for the junior?
See the Boston College upcoming schedule. They'll have a rivalry matchup coming up against Boston University here at home before hitting the road to take on Louisville. And that Notre Dame team, with a big win in the early season against Northwestern, picked up their first loss against Syracuse, but that will be a game to watch.
Oh, really? That 3-game stretch is going to be a huge indicator as to where this season is going to go for Boston College, right? You got Notre Dame, Duke, North Carolina. You know, those are always 3 good teams in the ACC. And for Boston College, you know, no matter what the ranking or the record is right now, you know, ultimately you're going to have to go through those kinds of teams.
2-on-1 for Virginia Tech, and they score. Issa Torres, the freshman, gets on the board for the Hokies.
First career goal for the younger sister, the goalie Jocelyn. You see Dolce still disappointed. That's the sign of a competitive goalie, right? Even in a 2-on-1 situation, they feel like they should never give up anything.
She read it right. I think that's why she was so frustrated, is she knew where to go, just didn't put the stick high enough. 10 seconds remaining here in the circle. That one's gonna be one back, and a chance for Regano, but the final buzzer sounds, and Boston College, after a little bit of a shaky start here in the first, they bounce back and earn a big ACC victory against Virginia Tech, 20-7, and an all-around effort in this one.
Really a complete game on both sides for Boston College. First 5 minutes maybe didn't go the way they planned, but they settled into their game. And again, I think the big point of it, Lewis, was the tempo that BC established on both ends. Aggressive defense, attacking defense, forcing turnovers, leading to transition, number of transition opportunities for the Eagles leading to goals today. And again, you know, sort of going back to a little bit of the old guard on the offensive attack, right? We saw plenty of Rachel Clark. We saw Emma Pinto, especially late in the game, but Belle Smith, Cassidy Weeks, really key to that big second quarter for BC. trusting in what they do on an every game basis, and they were huge to the Eagles, sort of righting the ship today coming off of that loss to Northwestern.
The Eagles bounce back here in Chestnut Hill. For Ben Ulcher and our entire production crew here in Chestnut Hill, I'm Luis Sanchez saying good afternoon from the Fish Field House on the campus of Boston College, where our final score was Boston College 20, Virginia Tech 7. To watch this game on replay, as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, download the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.